Happy Monday. We are finally in the final stretch. We're almost done. You all have this week and next week, and then the week after, if you're in high school, is your finals week. And if you are in 8th grade, well, you've got another week after this, after that one. We are going to kind of slow down a little bit on some of the stuff that we've been doing. Junior high, not this week for you, but next week you'll kind of slow down a little bit because you've got some other things coming up, assessments and things like that, that let me remind you what the calendar kind of looks like in that regard. Also, I watched back my last video because I forgot to write down all of your due dates, or at least I lost them, and I realized I talk really, really slow, and I was like urging myself, talk faster, move a little quicker, I need the information. So hopefully I'm going to talk slightly faster in this video today so it's not super long and you're not like waiting for me to finish talking. Let's see. Today you all have to write in your journal. You've got new roots, so you've got new roots this week and you've got new roots next week, and that's it. That's all the roots that we're doing. So you've got 4 roots left. 2 of them you're going to get today. So update your roots journals, your roots notebooks, update your writer's journals. Junior high, you do have a study sync assignment, first read that's already been assigned to you, so go ahead and do that. High schoolers, you do not have study sync. You are just going to do the no red ink practice that I've assigned. I've assigned no red ink practice that should be a little bit easier. Most of it's commonly confused words, things like to and to, there, and there, it's and it's. Things that I keep seeing kind of crop up in your writing over and over again that needs to be addressed. So junior high, you also have no red ink. High schoolers have no red ink as well. So it's not due until Wednesday at midnight, but high schoolers, you only have your roots notebook and your journal today, so you can definitely get your no red ink done as well. Middle schoolers, you can split it up if you need to, since you also have study sync. And then on Thursday, middle schoolers, you're going to have your journal and your study sync close read. And high schoolers, what we're going to do is you're going to have a separate video. It's going to talk all about writing a thesis statement and making an outline for an essay prompt, which is basically going to be what most of your final is. And there's going to be an opportunity to practice writing a thesis statement and making an outline. You're not going to have to actually write the entire essay, but you'll have to write a thesis and do the outline and things like that and turn that into me so that I know, like, okay, we really need help with this. We're doing really well with this. Next week is when the high schoolers' choice book chats are due. They're due next Monday, so you have 1 week to finish your books if you have not already done so. I'm going to put up a Flipgrid for all of my high school classes on Monday morning, and you have any time Monday during the day to kind of turn that in. I am going to give you your rubrics for that today. This is the same rubric for you 8th graders. Your choice book chats are going to be on the 18th, which is when the high schoolers are taking their final. So go ahead and start looking at this. But high schoolers, this is for you for next Monday. So it's pretty similar to the one that you had for your last choice book chat, but I did not bring home that rubric and it's not on my computer. So this is all what I remembered from the top of my head. You need to have an interesting hook. This does not mean that you tell some type of joke, you scare your audience. It has to relate to your story. Some of you, your interesting hook had absolutely nothing to do with your book at all. And some of them were very interesting, but that's not what I mean by interesting hook. So this would be some way to kind of get your reader interested in what it is that you're going to be talking about. You need title, author, date of publication, and you need the genre. I did not put that you need to show the cover of the book because some of you don't actually physically have the book. If you've got the book and you want to show us, great, that would be awesome. But some of you are reading it online, and that makes it pretty difficult. Characterization, protagonist, description, goals, antagonist, goals, supporting characters, plot. Some things that are important here in the plot. where it says what's the climax of the story, it says without revealing the outcome. So we don't want spoilers. However, a lot of you, when we did choice book chats last time, just said, oh, the climax is going to be a spoiler, so I can't say. Well, the climax of pretty much any story is going to be a spoiler, but you can tell me kind of what the climax involves without giving away the entire thing. For example, if you take the movie Frozen, which most of you have watched, whether you'll admit it or not, you would talk about, who, what, where, why, when of the story. You talk about Anna and Elsa, and then you'd get to the point near the end where you say, and with time running out, Anna has to decide between her sister and her true love. Okay, that sets up, that is the climax, is when she has to choose. Now, I didn't tell you what she chose, I didn't tell you the outcome, but I told you what the climax of the story actually was. So you're kind of setting it up to say, okay, here's what is going to happen. Here's like the main point of everything kind of coming together. Now, remember, the climax is probably not going to be just like the middle of your book. It's not a perfect story mountain. It's more like a roller coaster where the end is, nope, roller coaster would be the opposite because the climax would be at the beginning. It's basically, the climax is pretty close to the end. It's that final moment of suspense of a what's going to happen kind of moment. Yeah, so make sure that you tell me what that kind of moment is without necessarily giving it away. If you're doing a fiction or nonfiction book, either way, you're going to give me a couple of themes of the book. If you're doing nonfiction, these are the things you need to do instead of doing all the characterization and plot. Fiction and nonfiction, you need to give me a score of the book, recommendation. Do you recommend it? Do you not recommend it? What kind of people do you recommend it to? If you like historical fiction, fantasy, that kind of thing. And then the time requirement, which I told you is 4.5 to 5 minutes. And Flipgrid does have a maximum amount of time, so it will cut you off. So that means that you need to practice it to get it into that 4.5 to 5 minutes. That's where it needs to be to get full points for that. And then all the point totals are on here, and it's going to add up to 100 points. So high schoolers, just a reminder, yours is due on Monday. So make sure that you've kind of got that all together and ready to go for Monday. On Monday, you're going to have your choice book, and you're going to have new roots and a journal, and that's all you're going to have. And then next Thursday, high schoolers, you are going to have your roots quiz over just quarter 4 roots, and a journal, and that's all you're going to have. And then it's going to be your final exam, which once again is going to be an essay that's based on the theme of the unit that you've been working on in StudySync, and quarter 1 through 4 roots. So quarters 1 through 3 are already on Quizlet. I'm sorry I haven't put quarter 4 up there yet. I need to get on that and do that. I will, but you can go ahead and start studying the other ones, and then you're done. That's it. So yeah, so that's all that you've kind of got going on. I have been a little bit behind getting late grades in, so if you're like Mrs. Jennings, I already did something from week 4 that you didn't put in this week. Don't worry, I am still going back, and I'm going to be adding those grades in. It's been a pretty crazy week over here with my kids. Both of them have been super high needs, so it's been hard to get a lot of schoolwork done without staying up until 2 in the morning, which some of you know how that feels because you're probably up at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the morning. Some of you don't go to bed. Yeah. So I'm going to be getting that stuff in. One last thing is that I'm going to be, this week is the last week of grades that I'm going to take towards exemption for the final. So I'm going to be calculating your grades as soon as these ones are entered this week, and I'll be sending out an email this upcoming weekend, to let you know whether you need to take the final or if you are exempt. So I know that there are certain classes where pretty much everyone's going to be there, and there are a couple of classes where almost nobody will have to take the exam. So I will get all that information to you as soon as I can this weekend. That will be my ultimate goal of sending those emails out to you so that you know before the start of next week whether you have to take the final or not. So I think that's all I have for you. If you've got questions, comments, concerns, please let me know. Hopefully I was talking a little bit faster and gave you relevant information. If not, I hope that you at least listen to my videos on like double speed to get through what you need to get through. Yeah, that's it. Have a wonderful, fabulous Monday and a great week.